So yeah, speaking of highways, I thought this was hilarious. Every year, a research company does a list of the worst highways in the country, and we're talking about when we say worst. When we say worst, we're not just talking about traffic. We're also talking about like the least updated, the ones that have the most construction, like anything that's like obstructive to traffic. So I'm curious. Before I tell y'all where we are on the list, I'm curious. What do y'all think are some other cities or highways on the list? I'm curious.
New Orleans, Dallas.
Okay. So far, you named 2 other cities on the list. That's good.
You know.
What else? What other cities do y'all think are on there? Any guesses?
I'm trying to think where drugs traffic. That's where all the highways are.
I mean, I just feel like every state and city that I've been to, the traffic has just been like the worst. So like, I just feel like I would name all of them. Okay. Anywhere in New York, anywhere in New Jersey, anywhere in Atlanta. Like I don't like the traffic. Like,
all right, I'm gonna go down the list.
I-10, Louisiana, going that way.
Hey, you know. Okay.
I'm telling you, anywhere where drugs traffic, that's where the most problems are going to be.
All right. So look, I'm going to go down the list for the listeners just who are curious. I'm going to start with number 10 and then we'll go all the way down.
Okay.
Number 10, you were right. New Orleans, Louisiana, Claiborne Expressway, I-10. Number 9, I-275 in Tampa, Florida. I don't know anything. I've never been in that area, so I don't know. But I have been on this next one. Number 8, I-345 in Dallas.
Yeah.
I
don't like it.
I've been on something in Dallas and it was bad, so I don't know which one it was. No, they can't.
They say Houston is bad, but Dallas is like
Houston is bad though, but Dallas.
7, holla at your boys, Austin, Texas, I-35.
We should have been number 1.
No. I think I'm number 1 and I've been on number 2, but I've never been on number 1. But number 2, I can vouch is bad. Okay. But let's keep going.
So then you do something about that construction. That's the problem and the car accidents.
So then we got 6 is Portland, Oregon, I-5, never been there.
Never.
Louisville, Kentucky is the next one, 64.
Never been there.
I-70 in Denver, I-81 in Syracuse. This next one I've been on, I-980 in Oakland. Nuts.
That bad?
It's bad. That one's bad. Hey, look, he nodded his head. Oh yeah. So for the people, you can't. There's some people you can't see in this room, but we got cameraman. One of our cameramen just nodded our head. He's from LA, he's from LA, California, right? San Jose, I'm sorry, California. He nodded his head when we said Oakland. He knows what we're talking about. And then the number 1, drum roll, everybody. I've never been here, so I don't know. The Kensington Expressway in Buffalo, New York. I've never been there. I'm kind of glad I've never been, but apparently that's the worst highway in the country, 2019, for this list from this Consumer Report.
Well, I mean, actually, the traffic in New York is low key pretty bad.
Everywhere.
So, like,
you've been to New York.
I go to New York a lot, so it is definitely.
Yo, Nubia drives to New York.
Ooh.
I drove to New York one time,
right.
never again in my life.
Yeah, that's a crazy drive.
My legs, ankles, feet were so swollen. Like
when you told me that, I was like, I can't believe you.
It was the worst.
It was that's like a 20-hour drive.
It was for a show. It was over 20 hours because they try to put me behind the wheel, and I'm telling you right now, I can't drive for longer than an hour. I get sleepy. So, like, I pulled over, like, several times. So, I feel like I stalled the trip. But, yeah.
You know, I didn't even know they drove cars in New York, like, until I had a friend from New York. I figured everyone said taxi.
Yeah, I thought everybody
No, it's not like that. It's not like that.
Trains, and I figured everybody.
But I definitely hop on the subway when I'm out there. I hate getting in the car. I was scared the first time, but once I got more familiar with it, I was like, I can do this.
I'm afraid I'd been
girl
kidnapped.
From Texas. I can do this.
Goodies would have been snatched.
So they, like, before we move on real quick, I'm curious, like, what do y'all? Because when they make this list, they also include, like, because they're an actual transportation firm, so they include what would be a good update to fix these highways on this list. And I'm just curious, like, what do y'all think would fix 35? Like, where does the traffic have the worst issue at?
The drivers.
Say the drivers and then route.
You can't fix that.
If they can learn to drive better, hit the gas, get out the way, or stop being so nosy. They think they even see something, they have to slow down, stop, and pay attention, but they won't stop to save you.
What do you think? So let's take Pflugerville, Round Rock. Let's take them out of it. Let's focus on Austin.
Austin.
What do you think is the worst exit?
Downtown.
For which one? There's three exits. Okay.
The closer you get to south.
Yeah.
So you would say like Cesar Chavez is the worst exit?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It's funny y'all mention that because the number one thing they recommended, it's funny y'all mention that. The number one thing they recommended was to remove the elevated highway between Cesar Chavez and Riverside.
Okay.
And that what they're basically saying is that shouldn't be an exit. That little highway, that little that little overpass should be like you should only be allowed to go under it. You shouldn't be able to exit onto it.
Okay.
And so that was one of the things that they suggested.
Yeah.
It's pretty
I'm with it.
interesting.
It's not a bad
I'll
idea.
tweet the link out. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get our socials out here in a little minute. I'll tweet the link for the list if anybody's interested in stuff like that. Y'all can check it out.